I do feel that there are serious consequences when a white person says something racist, especially about a black person. I feel that a lot of times they get downplayed. Like I said, Roger Sterling lost a team. Now you could say, no, he didn't. He made $2 billion. No, he didn't. The value of that team was already there. He was making hundreds of millions a year. That team could have been passed down to his children. But instead, that's like saying, hey, the house you live in, we're going to kick you out. You're going to be forced to sell the house, and you can't buy a house anywhere else. Right? Who is going to be okay with that? This is a house that you've had for 20 years. You're comfortable in that house. Get out this house, put it up for sale, get whatever someone offers you, quickly get the fuck out and go get an apartment somewhere.
If it was $2 billion, I'll buy a boat and cruise around on that motherfucker.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying.
But do you see what I'm saying? You can't say that wasn't a harsh penalty. He is banned from owning another team. Like, you can't say that was a harsh penalty over, at the end of the day, over a recorded phone call that he didn't even do publicly. He's still a piece of shit.
Oh, you on his side?
No. You didn't let me finish.
Yeah.
He's still a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And he still deserved it.
Right.
And he still deserved it. And I agree with what he did, with the consequences of his actions.
Right.
I agree with it. I'm not on Sterling's side, absolutely. But we're talking about a situation, we know what I'm saying, where he didn't publicly say it. He was talking to someone who he thought he was safe with.
Yeah.
It was exposed that he's a racist, and now he lost his team as he should.
So let me offer some pushback. This is what I would say about that. I would say in a private entity such as the NBA, where what you have is an organizational ability to police itself, you do see situations like that. You do. And that's another thing about Robert Sarver from down in the Phoenix Suns.
Yep.
Where you don't see it is when it's left up to American society, right? When it's left up to American society to have the conversation about what consequences are, we a lot of times don't see them. When a cop kills a black man, an unarmed black man or a black woman, a lot of times that's left up to American society. I talked to Valerie Castillo. a couple of days ago. That is the mother of Philando Castillo. I'm glad that I'm here to be able to talk to you about this. The man that killed Philando Castillo is going to become a teacher right now. He's trying to become a teacher in the school system up there in Minnesota, right? Mm-hmm. That's what Philando did. Philando worked in the school system up in Minnesota. That is a black man who was carrying a legal gun, who was not reaching for his gun and just had his life taken with absolutely zero consequence. We're not talking about a manslaughter situation. We're not talking about in front of his girl and a child, not even a child endangerment charge. And then, so when you look at situations like that, like in private institutions where the black dollar could hurt it, or where you have in the NBA where you have a large portion of black people, sometimes we do see that. But when we're talking about when it's left up to American society, a lot of times we feel like there are no consequences. I'm going to tell you that a racist got elected president. A racist got elected to the highest office in the land.
And try to overturn the election.
Yeah. So a lot of times what you see, I see racists everywhere being fucking rewarded for being racists.
Absolutely.
Nick Fuentes gets to hang out with Kanye fucking West.
And Trump.
You know what I'm saying? So I see what you're saying, and there are cases, obviously, especially when people have to put a face on things. But for us, when we look out into American society and we go, okay, what happens? We're trying to get to the point to where we see consequences. And I'll just say something about this too. There's no consequences that can justify the taking of a life.
Yeah.
There's no justice for George Floyd. There's no justice for Breonna Taylor. There's no justice for Ahmaud Arbery. They are dead. Mm-hmm. What like they got killed. Atiana Jefferson is happening down there right now. They're getting they killed them. There's no way to bring that back. There's nothing that can be done. The only thing that we can do is try to live in a society where we change those outcomes. Because those people are gone, and they're gone a billion years from now, they're still dead. 2 trillion years from now, they're still dead. There's not enough jail cells that you can put people in to get them back. So and a lot of times we just got to sit with that and know that there doesn't seem to be the same type of uproar or furor when it happens to us in that way. So, drawn on a little bit, I apologize for rambling, but when I look at the amount of injustice that a black American is just asked to eat over and over and over again, bruh, it really is an incredible amount.
I agree. And as a white person, I have no idea what a black person goes through on a regular basis. Doesn't matter how many black people I hang around or interview, or I get relationships with, or kids I have, or nothing. I still walk into a room with my hat backwards, and I don't have to worry about someone thinking I'm a thug and so forth, in the same way that you expressed earlier on in this interview.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would never, ever, as deeply ingrained as I am in the black community, I'm still white.
Right.
And I understand that. And I could never speak on someone else's behalf.
Let me ask you a question real quick. This is a funny question. The average white person in America, how many times do you think they've said the N-word in their life? Average white person in America. Give me a number. I want to play a game with you, Vlad.
I have no idea.
How many times have you said it?
I don't remember saying it.
You've never said it.
I don't remember saying it.
Zero times.
I didn't grow up. It was not said in my family. You got to understand that. I'm not a American. I am an immigrant.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
So you never been rocking to the beat? Just never.
No. Have I heard the word in my head? But would I actually say it? No. I don't. I don't. And at the end of the day, like I said, I wasn't raised.
But you make a conscious effort not to, though, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because I understand, like recently Chuck D said that the N-word should be stripped from Twitter. And I completely agree.
You don't think the N-word should be stripped from Twitter?
Yes.
You know what the problem with that is, though? And maybe this is another problem that, I will talk. Is it like, so I remember Gregory Hines, they had a movie called Tap, right? Remember that joint?
I do.
Nobody remembers Tap, but Tap was the shit. So Tap comes out, and we watch the movie. And so what I would go do is get my dad's shoes, rest in peace of my father. I would get my dad's shoes, and I would put them on. And then I would come in the living room, and everybody would be hanging out drunk, doing whatever they doing, like drinking, having fun, just family stuff. And I would tap, right? I would tap for my family. And I couldn't tap, right? Like I couldn't tap, but it was funny to everybody. And they laughed, and they would laugh. I would come out there and do it. And my grandfather would be like, God, that little nigga funny. That little nigga is funny. I'm telling you, I love, tap again, man. Look at that little nigga go. And he would say that. And so it's difficult for me, in a real way, it's difficult for me to, that's what my grandfather used to say to me. And it's bad, but it's difficult for me to really, like, I willed that word as almost a dare. Like, I can say that.
Yeah.
Like, I do say that. And I use it as a dividing line, and I shouldn't. I use it as a dividing line to say, this is my cultural side of the fence. Mm-hmm. This is your cultural side of the fence. I'm going to respect what's on your side of the fence, and you are going to respect what's on my side of the fence.